And talking about spaces, what about this new space which has emerged, the virtual space, the social media space? How is this affecting feminism, or how is feminism affecting them? Lots of people say that women are being abused more, there's more rape threats, there's more violence being propagated because of that. So what are your thoughts on that?
See, I think, so there are two parts of this question as I get it. So one is that, how are these new tools and platforms kind of benefiting or taking away from what feminism is? I think, first thing is that something like social media is free, it's independent, it's not driven by any corporate agenda, so to say. I mean, obviously there are giants like Google and Facebook which kind of control what you're doing on the internet, but beyond that it's a fairly free space. You can speak up what whatever you want to say. Given that scenario, I think feminism has benefited a lot from social media, because it wasn't a conversation that we used to have on dinner tables, say for example. It wasn't even a word. In a country like India, people don't know what feminism means, right? We've not really said these words that openly. But I think with the advent of social media and young people taking more to it, it's kind of benefited the conversation. Like, the conversation has become more mainstream. It might be right, it might be wrong, but it's mainstream at least now. Obviously, feminism has also got a fair amount of criticism, and a lot of a lot of people oppose the idea of feminism by calling it things like feminazi, or it's against men, it's anti-men, and so on and so forth. And these are things that have emerged as social media came about, especially in the US, and now they're all transitioning to India as well, because people are exploring these topics a lot more. But I think social media has done something really crucial, which is, as I said, initiate the conversation. Because for the longest time, as I have seen it, groups that work on these issues also work in very, in their own silos. Like, they work within each other, they work with another group that they believe thinks like them, they work with communities that they think that can probably think like them, but they, I think, have kind of reached a comfort zone with that. They don't want to challenge it more, they don't want to be questioned, they also don't want to be opposed in a lot of ways. So I think social media gives us that space to spark that conversation. As I said, it might be right, it might be wrong, but it's an opportunity to actually intervene. It's an intervention, like how we all look at creating these interventions. Social media is a pretty huge intervention for feminism. Now, the second part of your question, where people say that internet has kind of furthered violence against women or gender-based violence. I feel that social media or the internet is basically a mirror of the society. So it's nothing different from it's not like I feel a certain way offline, but I don't feel that online, or I feel a certain way online, but I don't feel that offline. So if I am patriarchal and sexist offline, I'll be patriarchal and sexist online. Social media will just give me that space to kind of be behind a curtain and say whatever I want to. So I think the question is not whether social media or internet has furthered sexism or gender-based violence. The question is that, are we really ending patriarchy and sexism in real life scenarios? Because if we're doing that, they won't go online. I mean, it won't translate online. So I think that's the bigger question that we kind of need to answer.